All right. Yeah. I know, day 3 for Thalia. That's how much fucking detailed she is. And to the future me, it's like, oh yeah, good luck drawing her again when you gotta put her in action poses or whatever I have her do. It'll probably be a scenario where I just have her wearing like more simplistic clothing. Because she's like not on the job or something. Something stupid. Or she wants to try the new fashion. Or just straight up put her in a bikini. Not that it'd really help because she still has gems on her body. And I've been doing this for years. Like, I have so many overly complicated characters. And I still make the time to draw them as they should be. So, I'm kind of used to it. I mean, look at Becky. She's already complicated. And she's not even, like, the most complicated. Which is saying a lot given how she's designed. It's like, damn, she's not even the most complicated and yet... and yet, look at her. I remember a long time ago when I had a character who had 3 colors in her hair, and I was drawing with color pencil back then. So for me, with the way I was shading, that meant that each color was 3 shades. So that meant that her hair alone was 9 shades of color. And I remember back then thinking like, damn, she's the most complicated character I have just because of her hair. Oh, was I so naive. As time went on. Hello, Frost. Happy birthday, still, if it's still your birthday over there. But I have learned a lot, like, whatever is the most complicated color for a character, just make that the base color, so you don't have to worry about it. You just gotta balance out between what is the easiest thing to color and what's the hardest thing to color. And if they're both kind of even, then figure out the one that is harder to fill in, and use that one as the base. This character, however, she was kind of a mix of everything. It's like every part of her is difficult. And so I just went with her feathers being the base because that's like the overall, you know, what her coloring is going to be. Whereas her clothing, yeah, it's a pain in the ass, but it was likely easier than to try to color her feathers individually. So I kind of had to like pick the lesser of two evils with this character. Oh, it's my fault. It'll always be my fault. And I wholeheartedly own up to that. And you know what? It's these experiences that help me grow. It'll help me learn how to make stuff like this easier, which it has. That's why I've learned the whole, like, you know, whatever the base color is, use that as the best way to get rid of some of the hard parts for a character. And then, you know, if you're doing clothing, do it in layers, do it in a way that makes it easier to do the fine details in an easier fashion. I mean, it's basically the same rules, just do it just layer it up. So like, for example, these little areas over here of her armor, technically you can make that underneath the top, the more thicker purple. and just fill it in. Like, you just fill it in, you don't really have to think about it because other colors would be on top of it. So it takes away some of the time-consuming parts. Well, the irony of her being Nurse Pain, basically, is that she is living up to her role as causing me pain just to color her. But yes, definitely get good scrub. That is definitely the lesson here. It's like, learn from the experience, figure out how to make it easier, and then the future you will be much happier. Yeah, right? Like, the crazy bug character was like just as ridiculously complicated, but it seemed like she took so much less time compared to this character. And it's kind of funny the way I look at that too. Because, like, I can put that character on screen because she's not doing anything lewd. I believe she's in here. Yeah, there she is. So, like, we have this character. Nope, not you. Nope, not you. There we go. And then we have her. And it's like, both of them are a pain in the ass. Especially how this one has like the little green tips and stuff on her that I'd have to pay attention to in the future. But the fucking bird is way more complicated just because of her outfit alone. So yeah, they both fucked me in this case. Let me make sure you guys can actually see her. Okay, yeah, you can. But yeah, it's just the irony just makes it funny. But again, this is how we learn. Damn, that song was going on for that long. Yeah. The thing I need to learn, though, is like, hey, if you're gonna make a character have overly complicated designs, you better, you know, prepare for that if you use them more in the future. Which, to be fair, the odds of me drawing the entirety of a character in a comic are pretty low. And even if I do, they're usually going to be in some pose that, you know, covers some of the difficult parts. Like, oh, if she's jumping in the air or something, you know, some parts of her are not going to be shown. Or like, for example, you know, if she's sitting, you know, some of her dress is going to be, you know, deformed or in a position where you're not seeing certain details of something else. Or maybe I'm not always going to draw her hand with the jewelry and armor nails and stuff like that all the time. Maybe she'll have like a glove on or something. Because it's not like she's going to announce that she has a giant fucking dark stone engraved or embedded into her arm all the time. Yeah, it just depends on what she's doing in the future. Like, cause again, she's a healer, so it's not like she's gonna be putting herself in harm's way directly. And then, given the type of character she is specifically, she's just gonna be sitting on her ass watching her party, you know, get murdered as she waits till the last minute to step in and heal them. So, with this character in particular, we're just going to be mostly seeing shots of her face just with a large grin, or her getting, you know, hot and bothered watching her party bleed out or be stabbed or burned or whatever scenario that they're in. So she's more of a exception to this rule. Oh yes, this character. If I somehow made a game of my characters and I introduced, like, I made a trailer for this character, I would show her doing like a bunch of ridiculous shit. It's like, oh, she's making a character like lose health or recover health, but then deal more damage for whatever reason, or like if this was like a weird, you know, anime or RPG or whatever, to show her like de-aging people or breaking somebody's bones and then healing them back painfully and stuff like that. It'd be like, damn, she must be like a witch or something, and then you just find out that she's the fucking medic. And it's like, wait, what? She's the medic? If she was in a game kind of like Overwatch or something, it would be like, oh, she's gonna deal damage to her own party, but then make their output damage be ridiculously high. And then she'll cast something that heals. Or maybe it's like a weird ability where she deals damage over time, but then once that's over with, they recovered like double the health. So like, for example, she makes the party lose health until they've lost, like, let's just say 50, and then they recover 100. Or even like 150 just to like balance that out more. She's like literally a pain for pleasure type of playstyle. This character's breaking the fabric of reality and she's a cafeteria lady. That'd be funny. Hello, hello. Yeah, like I could have a character who just jumps through portals, and she could theoretically put somebody in like a portal loop where you just fall forever. But her whole gimmick is just like, nah, I gotta transfer this food to my party so I can heal them or some shit. Or damn, I gotta get this food to the kids. Uses a portal that can bend reality and shit and get to the kids. Thank you. Yeah. Like, this character, she would usually cast something that would prevent herself from, you know, being killed, like some form of auto life, which is like something that Final Fantasy has done. If she were to actually die in lore, like someone just manages to finally kill her, some weird shit would happen where it's like either the dark stones that are embedded in her body would like react and like resurrect her after some period of time. Like, what if they just could not remove them from her body for whatever reason? And she'd probably just come back as like a necromancer. Or lich. Which would be terrifying. But she would probably welcome death at one point. Like, she'd probably purposely keep herself alive for like a few hundred years and then get bored. And then choose to die. Just because she's pretty much done everything. Thank you. I hope you like them. And if you do, I'm glad you like them. But yeah, I could see her like coming back to life. Basically just coasting for a few hundred years. Probably have a few kids here and there, or descendants, or whatever the case may be, and then just get bored and die. She's like, "All right, I'm done." If we're talking about the ones directly in her body, she's got the one on her hand, the one in between her chest or her tits. She's likely got one on her back, and I would like to say one in her mouth, but I didn't really show that in her initial artwork. But I can always say that she gets one put in her mouth later, like on her tongue. Probably one on her lower back, just because, and then the rest she's wearing. And then if I really want to make up like a backup stone that she would have on herself, she'd probably have one swallowed, like she probably swallowed one that she just carries in her stomach. And it's not like her body can digest it, so it just sits there. Either that, or like she swallows it, and then once the mission's done, she just coughs it back out, because she knows how long it would take for it to actually digest, so she's not worried. I got bored and died and became death. But she mostly has the stones in her body because they all use dark magic. Because she has a strong affinity for darkness. Because there's like light, water, fire, the elements and stuff like that, and her affinity is darkness. But she's not like, oh, I'm gonna rule the world type of thing. She's like, nah. Say, nah, I'm a nurse. I help people. She's just a bit of a sadist. She's in that mindset where if she were to be in a relationship, it's the type of relationship where she would love to nurse somebody back to health type of thing. It's like that one princess from Overlord where she was in love with a knight, and she would love to hear about him getting brutally injured so she could nurse him back to health. But like that was like her fantasy. It never actually happens in that way. And then like her plans change where she basically gains like a demonic body and asks him to share that with him or with her. But for this character, it's more like she would purposely let her significant other come back gravely injured or basically dying and then heal them, but it'd be painful, but she'd love it because it just makes her feel not even like needed, but just gives her joy that she's not only helping him or her, but it's in like the most painful way while still, healing. She's like just twisted in that fashion. But yes, she is a healer. Oh yeah, that would be messed up if she only heals you a little bit. But for her, that wouldn't make much sense. She would rather put them all the way back to full health, just so she could watch it happen all over again. Because doing it bit by bit isn't really fun. Because it's like, well, that's no fun. They're already still in pain. It's like, let's just do it all over again. Or what would be even worse is after her party kills like the enemy team, she does something where she just revives the enemy team with like half health or something. That would be fucked up if she just revives the enemy. Just because she didn't get enough out of it. That would be messed up. She's unlikely to do that though. That would kind of defeat the point. Because it's not about the enemy team winning, it's just about the struggle. And she does have a slight reputation, so she doesn't want to ruin that where it's like, oh great, nobody's going to hire her because she helps the enemy team. So yeah, she definitely wouldn't do that, because then her fun would be over. But you could imagine other groups or guilds or whatever making that rumor that she could potentially do that if she wanted to. Not that she would, but if they were to spread such a rumor, some people would probably believe it, just because of their experiences with her. It's like I was lying on the ground right next to her, getting stabbed by a skeleton, and she just sat there, watching me beg. And it wasn't until I got stabbed in the heart that she finally helped me. And then she's like, "What? You're still alive?" He's like, "Yeah, but that was terrifying. That was so painful." And it's like, "I know. Wasn't that great?" And then his look at her like, "Woman, you're sick." But they can't argue that she's like one of the greatest healers ever. It's like you can complain about her, but she does her job. It's literally a scenario. It's like, all right, we're going to the most terrifying dungeon ever. We need the best healer we can find. And it doesn't help that she makes herself affordable too. Like she's just within budgets that they can hire her, compared to like other expensive healers that can do her job just as well. It's like, yeah, you can go hire so and so, but they cost triple what I charge. And she doesn't require any potions, so you can keep that for your own party. So yeah, she's literally like, you go to her if you're desperate. But she's worth every penny. I think to even make her more more desirable as a healer is that she'll probably not even take any loot aside from maybe like dark stones, because that's mostly where the source of her abilities come from, which is why she has so many put on her body. So maybe she'll say like, okay, she'll take half your dark stones if you get any. And you're already paying her, so she doesn't need any of the gold that you might find. So yeah, she's probably like the best one to hire, but you better be prepared to get injured quite a lot. Or at least if you are injured, prepare for your healing to be painful. But anyway, that's Thalia. That's Thalia, one of the greatest healers. Thank you. I love her look too. It's funny because originally she was just supposed to be a color swap of Marissa. But then I really liked how I was designing her, so I was like, fuck it, we'll just make this a new character. that tends to happen a lot. This is why I have a hard time making new characters, because I end up coming up with like entire lore when I didn't intend to do that. And I'll erase all the other stuff later. Some shading on this before I move on. But yeah, originally this was just supposed to be a color swap of Marissa. It's like, oh, what if Marissa was evil? And this ended up being a new character. Now the question is, if I were to make a card of her, what would she be? Would she be like Fire Princess, or would she have a little bit more of a weird healing mechanic attached to her? I'll figure it out when I get there. Because I definitely will make a card of her at some point. I could probably give her an ability that has to do with Marissa, like loosely. Like something like, oh, if you control a light bird character, then this card's level is reduced so it's easier to play her, or something like that. Or if it's like a light bird healer or something like that. So that way it's not specifically naming Marissa, but it's like a nod to her. Since Marissa is also a healer. But neither will ever meet each other because one's like thousands of years old by this point, and Marissa's in more modern time. So yeah, if I ever get to my more medieval stories or stories that have to do with less technology and all that, then I'll use Thalia. Did I even make a card for Marissa? I don't think I did. Probably be House of Sinclair if I did. Doesn't look like I did. No. I'll just type in Marissa and see what I get. No, doesn't look like I made a card of her yet. So yeah, I'll have to think of what healing abilities Marissa will have. Or maybe even give Thalia like a mechanic where you have to hurt yourself. You have to be hurt a number of times before she actually starts helping you. Whereas like, oh, each time you take damage, she gets a mercy counter, and once she has like 5 mercy counters, then she'll start healing you. But like the healing is amazing. But then like put in another mechanic that says like every time she heals you, you remove a mercy counter from her, so that way she like loses interest in helping you, and then you gotta build it back up. And then like during that time, she won't gain any mercy counters until she's done healing you, and then it starts all over again. So yeah, that could be like a mechanic for her. That way it's balanced out where she's an amazing healer, but Jesus Christ, she's a sadist. Watch you get hurt first. And then she'll probably have a mechanic where she can't be killed in battle or something. Because in lore, she wouldn't allow herself to be killed by others. Maybe magic-wise, because, you know, you can overwhelm magic users. But battle-wise, it's like, she's like, yeah, please, sit down. So yeah, maybe that'll be something I give her. Oh yeah, I mean, this is how I get with pretty much every character that I end up making. I'll start just rambling and then slowly start piecing together ideas for the character. I mean, it's happened with every single character I've made. Some of them were not intended to go that far, and then here we are. I mean, that's literally what happened with Emerald and Andy. They were not intended to go as far as they ended up. Or even Blake. And then once I've settled on what I want from them, that's when I try to make it concrete with like a bio or something. But yeah, I could see Thalia like teasing other spellcasters. Where she'll be like, you need to build up your mana reserves as she starts like poking at their chest or some shit, and they're like, wait, what? And it's like, yeah, don't you know? That's where it's all stored. And they look at their chest, and they're like, what? No, that's not right. And then they just look at Thalia, and she's like, well, do you think I'm lying? and they don't know if she is or isn't, just to fuck with them. And she could be telling the truth too. It could be like some weird way of like, well, if you want to have an abundance of mana, that's where you're putting it. It's either that or their ass, or maybe their belly. Who knows? But they're not advanced enough to know whether or not she's telling the truth. But then they'll probably like look at other spellcaster characters with big chests and kind of wonder. He's like, whoa, was she telling the truth? Who knows? Hello, hello. But yeah, I would say Thalia is mostly a tease. Like, she's a sadist, she's a tease, she does her job well. She's fair, she's affordable. It would be interesting to see what she does when she cares. So like maybe like a friend that she favors more than most has a problem or gets hurt or kidnapped or something, and she takes it upon herself to go help them personally. If someone got kidnapped and she like actually likes them, and she takes it upon herself to go, retrieve them, then pray for whoever kidnapped them, because she will not make their life easy when she makes her way there. Big-chested furry woman. Say yay. But yeah, you'd be like, oh, so-and-so was kidnapped. And she'd be like, excuse me, what? And then she'll just get up and walk out the door. And they're like, did she just leave without a party? And they're like, I think so. Should we follow her? Or maybe help her if she needs it? Maybe? Like, 2 warriors or whatever go follow her just to make sure she's okay, but they just end up being witnesses to what she ends up doing. It would basically be the story of fuck, what was it called? Redo of Healer. This is basically what she would end up being. She would basically be the protagonist of Redo of Healer in that instance. Which I'm going to have to find the manga for that, because I know damn well they're not going to animate the rest of that. And if they do, I will be surprised. Oh yes, her big feather hands. That she puts nails at the tips of them. Or at least on one arm she does. And she's fully aware of how scary she seems to everybody. She just does it on purpose. since she has her fun. It's like, dude, she's terrifying. Her name is Thalia Moonbath. And I can see her, you know, showing a sweet side too. Like maybe somebody who hired her got injured a little too many times to her liking, and so after she's done healing them, she'll, like, you know, lay them on her lap or something and let them rest. And of course, you know, they're just getting a face full of titties at that point. But I can see her, like, being like, all right, this person got hurt more than enough times for my pleasure. So yeah, I can see her, you know, taking it easy after a certain point. But depends on the person. Like, I can see her not gaining too much pleasure out of watching a newbie get hurt too many times. But if it's like a veteran, then she's like, whatever. She'll watch them get hurt numerous times before she feels the need to be sweet about it. Yeah. I can see Ambassador's going like, oh yes, hurt me, and she's just like, well, you're no fun. If anything, she probably just makes sure they're healed all the time, so that way she doesn't have to deal with them. And she'll just do it properly too, she won't even make it painful. She'll be like, alright, mission's over, I'm out. She is a black swan / seraph. So like a bestial bird angel. Same thing as Marissa. Just different color. So like Marissa, let me get her picture. So like this is Marissa. God damn it, no, not that one. And this is Thalia. They're not related. I was originally thinking that they could be related, but I was like, nah, just let them be their own separate characters, unrelated to each other. It wouldn't matter whether or not they were related, but I think it's better if they're not, just so it's not like, oh, Marissa has this ability because of Thalia's history or some shit like that. It's like, no, let Marissa have her own accolades. Well, I mean, the whole idea is that Thalia lived in, like, the more medieval times. And Marissa's in modern times. Sure, Thalia could theoretically just keep herself alive. But I think after a certain point she would just get bored. And just allow herself to die. and be like, "All right, Death, I've kept you waiting." Am I a boy or a girl? Good question. One day we will have the answer to that. I'm a guy. Okay. Did all that. I need to do the backlighting. Almost done. We're getting there. Luckily, I don't have to think too much about making a background for her. So most of it is just the usual. Well, if you're talking about me using my avatar, that's just a character I made for my comics. Not well, she wasn't originally made for comics, but she ended up being like the official unofficial mascot. So it's just irrelevant. Like it's just an avatar, but she does show up in my comics and all that. For a brief moment, I thought I was using the wrong brush. I was like, fuck! Coffee cup? Oh, yeah, she drinks a lot of coffee, but she usually puts alcohol in it. Because she's an alcoholic. I was about to say kind of. I was like, no, she's an alcoholic. it's like no, she's not kind of an alcoholic. She's like, no, she is an alcoholic. I haven't changed the alpha to her in a while. Let me do that. Let's give her hungover look as soon as it loads. Come on. There we go. Alcohol connoisseur. She's an alcohol specialist. Like, we try to make up all these fancy ways to say that she's an alcoholic without actually saying it, and she's like, "Nah, I'm an alcoholic." Just grabs a bottle and walks away. And Marcy's kind of chubby. I didn't see that in a moment. Yes, yes, Marcy is just kind of chubby. Shit like that is what keeps me alive. I don't know why. Furry duck avatar. Well, she's part duck, so you're like 1/14th correct. More music. Actually, let's do... Let's do this one. Is there like a long form version? Eh. We'll just click this one, see what happens. Huh, oddly enough, the song I was looking for. Ah, that's funny. If I were to draw Jay, it would depend on how I'm drawing her, because if I make her too lewd, then I can't draw her on stream. So unless I feel like giving her clothes, then she's kind of out of the question. Which, I mean, it's not like I can be against giving her clothing, it just kind of pushes her away from her initial role, but I can always draw her clothes and just, you know, make up scenarios and stuff like that. But yeah, maybe I'll draw Jay in the future. Have to see what's on the to-do list. I'm almost done with the next collection set, as you can see from this pic of Bad Bomber Busty Tees. I cannot show you the entirety of this picture because she is naked in this picture. So you'll just have to use your imagination of the character for now, until the set is ready. And then once the stream's over, I'm going to finish off that collection set, and then I'm going to go back to working on I Had Secrets. And I should have that done later today. And I need to make some more promo stuff for it. It's been like 2 or 3 pages since I last did one. Well, Picardo is iffy because currently I'm not blocked on there anymore, which I don't know why I was blocked on there to begin with. So I guess I could stream on Picardo at some point. But I'd also like to end my premium membership, which they're still fucking charging me for. So I might have to take it where I just block them from charging me. So I might have to do that from now in a bit. See how I feel about it. And as for Discord, probably not. I'll have to think more about Discord streaming. But at the moment I'm trying to just leave streaming to just YouTube, just because it's more productive. Whereas Picardo, it's like, yeah, I can stream it and record it. But after that it kind of boils down to if I'm just going to put it on Patreon or nothing, because if it's too lewd, then I can't post it on YouTube. Because again, YouTube allows nudity, you just can't go too much further than that. Oh, I'm sorry, when you said J, I was thinking of Ray J the entire time when I said her. Okay, it's my bad. I forgot that I named the Cobra J. Yeah, I could probably draw her at some point. Maybe next week's stream. I was thinking of Ray J this entire fucking time. Like, Ray J was my immediate thought when I saw the name J. So yeah, I could probably draw her next week if I'm not too busy with something else. She shouldn't be too difficult, it's just a fucking cobra with hair and some piercings. I just gotta remember to draw her when the time comes. This boss theme is so good. Like, it sounds like a final boss song that's really the second to last boss that you fight in the game. And the whole idea is that she was supposed to be the final boss, but you caught up to her too soon. So then when you do fight the final boss, it's just a big letdown in comparison to her. And that's like the whole idea of the game. It's like, because the whole premise of No More Heroes 2 is that you're trying to get revenge for the death of your friend. And then you slowly come to realize that revenge is just bittersweet. Like it didn't mean anything. Or it was just rather pointless. And that doesn't make you happy. But yeah, Alice was a very fun boss. Okay, I think we're good on this part. Next. I could see Thalia having a fascination with werewolves. Okay, other than this. Go. That way it's not too shiny. Too quiet. Yeah, it happens. Sometimes there's just nothing to say. Or I just get in the zone. Not a bad thing. Just means everyone's vibing. Do I want your tail? Nah, I'll leave it alone. There's no point doing it. There. So everything should be good, unless I feel like doing smaller extra details such as this. There. Alright, now I can leave it alone because there's not really much else to do on her. Move this. Move this up. Do one more pass at her eyes. And the gems. Zoom in so you can get the highlights of her eyes. She doesn't have normal highlights. Should be good, so we can do this now. All that's really left now is just the overlay shading that I do, and then the glow over gems. Go. Alright, all this after the gems, and I need to turn off all this just so I can get a proper pull. What color am I using on that? Hold on. Yo. What were we doing? that's what I was doing. Grab that color. Reverse it, so go 30. That way it's consistent. Skylar got hips. Might add some highlights to her gems. I'll do that after I do the glow. Yeah, I'll likely do it just so they don't seem so flat. I think I missed a gem. I'll have to color that. Oh yeah, let me fix that right now. It's not that big of a deal, but it is to me. There we go. Mommy swallow. And with that, she is done. Just gotta give her a background. Let's do a mix of this, some of this, some of that, and throw that in, and we'll grab this for good measure. I need the dust. Actually, that one's not bad. I probably don't need this one. Alright, all she needs is a glow layer, so that way she stands out a little bit more, and she's basically done. See you later, take care. Honestly, wouldn't be surprised if that's a bot. Alright, and with that, Thalia is done. I just need to put my tag on her. She has a big ass portrait. Yep, here's Thalia. Zoom out a bit. Big tall birdie. I think I'll call it for now. There's not much else I can do in the next 10 minutes. But yeah, thank you everybody for coming. I will continue working on the stuff I need to work on, and I will post them as soon as they are ready. And I will see you guys again tonight. Yeah, you guys take care and have